Hi, Aquarius. This is your reading for the time period of January 13th to the 31st, 2020. For those of you who are new to my channel or you're just visiting, welcome to Amani's Lightwork. Please feel free to check out my Keys to Akasha section. I do cover news stories, missing persons reports, celebrity passings, cases of any kind. If you do have an inquiry about that section of my channel, please feel free to email me at hassaniife777 at gmail.com or I'm always on Instagram, so feel free to send me a message to my IG at AmaniIfe777. Okay, so let's see what energies are coming through for you for the middle to the end of January. I just feel weird not having any January readings. I've been so busy recently. Just a lot of sleep. I've been getting a lot of sleep. Was definitely much needed. And I just wanted to make sure that I got everybody's readings out at a certain time. Okay? Okay. Something is a lot of information also, I don't know if this is taxes, this is feels governmental, like a governmental, it could be work, anything tied with work and taxes and information and things of that nature. But I feel this feeling of scooping, so that could be something, that could be somebody else's energy towards you, that could be your energy towards someone else, but it's tax and governmental related, it's work related. Okay. Okay, Aquarius. So you have what is this called? The strength card energy is underneath sign of Leo, but they have my information. So a Leo that you're tied to, they may have your information as in, it could be tax information as in, I also get a housing loan, information on a housing loan, some type of real estate of some kind. A housing loan could be real estate and things of that nature that you could be doing. But that's what a Libra does. So real estate, that could be what a Libra does. If you're tied to a Libra, that's what they do. Or it could be tax information that this element has had for a while. If it's not only the sign of Leo, then it's just strength energy. Housing, it's just strength energy because you need information about housing. You need it could be like a housing loan, trying to figure out a way to take out a housing loan or just get one period with a Libra's help, and possibly even a Gemini energy is coming through, like a Libra and a Gemini energy, they're coming through, because you may need one of those elements or both of those elements. They could be helping you to their information, or they could be helping you to someone else's information in the sense where one or both of those elements may have like a governmental tie, or they have access like a corporate tie. A Libra has that kind of tie, so they could be able to go into the system and get an external Aquarian, go into the system and get an external Aquarian's information, the tax information and things of that nature. So going into the system to get an external Aquarian energy's information, it could be to benefit yourself, it could be to get a loan, it could be the way you're able to take out a loan for yourself. So it could be a housing loan. I don't know if it could be even a car loan. I'm just giving examples of loans that you possibly would need to take out. So it could be school loans and things of that nature. But it's being taken out with someone else's, or it's being taken out under someone else's name, or it's being taken out with someone else's information. So it just depends on the energy that is coming through. So you got housing loans, you got possibly even school loans, you have maybe even car loans. These could be loans that you just want to take out for yourself or for your own benefit, but someone like a Libra or a Gemini, they're helping you to someone else's information to be able to take out those loans for yourself. Or you could just be getting information about an external Aquarian, and that you could be finding out, you could be using a Libra to find information on an external Aquarian. That could be something that an external Aquarian energy is doing. It just depends on what's going on. Okay. But these aren't loans that you're doing with your own. It doesn't feel like they're loans that you're trying to take out with your own information. It feels like people are helping you. It feels like people are helping you take out loans with someone else's information, and something may be really interesting about that. But there's a don't get caught kind of feeling doing that as well, and that could be either a Libra's voice or a Gemini's voice. The Gemini and the Libra. Here's the thing about the Gemini energy and the Libra. The Gemini energy and the Libra, they either they could be well versed. They're well versed, but something about those two elements, they could have went down that road already. You know what I mean? They could have went down that road. They could have went down that road already, or they went down that road, or went down that road already, in the sense where one of them could have been on the verge of getting caught in the past, but I also get a couple of years ago. So one of those elements could have been almost caught doing something like that in the past a couple of years ago. So, and that they may not have gotten caught, but they're coming to you, or you're coming to them for that kind of advice. But don't think you should do it. So when I went on that example, they don't think you should do it. So don't do what they're trying to tell you is don't do research. Don't do research on an external Aquarian to get their information. I keep getting it for my own benefit. It's for your own benefit. Those two elements are trying to tell you not to do that, but you listening or you're not listening. It just depends on the information that is coming through. The Strength card underneath, if you want to be dealing with the sign of if you want to be dealing with the sign of Leo, I keep getting they have your tax information. Leo has they just have your tax information, but them having it needs to be combined with whoever the person is. The Leo holding your tax information, some type of information that you have here, is that it needs to be combined with who you're trying to take from. It needs to be combined with who you're trying to take from, and the spirit is saying who you're trying to take from could be the external Aquarian energy. Could be the external Aquarian energy that a Libra and a Gemini are helping you to get information on, but stop doing it. So when I went on that example, there's a stop doing it. So stop trying to do research on someone else's information for your own benefit. If that is something that you're doing, if you're not doing it necessarily, then I mean the spirit is emphasizing external Aquarian, and you could be one of those external Aquarians. Somebody could be a Gemini could be doing that to you. Like a Gemini energy could be doing that to you. And the Leo, protect my stuff. The Leo being here is that you could be needing to have a conversation with the Leo and saying to the Leo, can you please protect my stuff? They could be a lawyer, they could be an accountant, whatever it is a Leo is. You're trying to ask them, can you protect my stuff from a Gemini energy? Or that could be a Gemini energy's voice about you. That could be a Libra's voice about an external Aquarian. That's a Libra's voice about an external Aquarian energy. Very interesting. All right, so something's going on with tax evasion and stuff, things of that nature, potentially. So that's why someone could be saying, be careful, you know. The starting point has Gemini. The starting point has your Gemini. I didn't even look at the cards to see, but the Gemini and the Libra were coming through, but they did it. So the Gemini and the Libra, they're coming through heavily because they did it. Like I said during the channeling session that I just had just now before I put any cards out, I did say that a Libra and a Gemini energy, they did go down that road, unscrupulous behavior. They did go down that road before of unscrupulous behavior. The unscrupulous behavior, I mean, people may not really see it to be unscrupulous unless it's investigated. You know what I mean? Unless it's investigated heavily, it's not deemed as or observed as unscrupulous behavior. That could just be how, you know, law enforcement may view it, a judge may view it. But if it's not heavily investigated, then no one is not going to pay attention to it, unless somebody brings it up to the surface for someone to pay attention to it with the Gemini energy there. So they went down that road before, like I said earlier. They went down that road before, but they're wealthy. So the Gemini is wealthy, but their wealth, something's interesting about their wealth. Their wealth may not have been made, I don't know. So, however, this could be so many Geminis. Their wealth may not have been gained like authentically, if you want to use the word authentic. Their wealth may not be authentic, but use other people's information. Their wealth isn't authentic for whichever Gemini you're dealing with. It's not authentic because they're using their wealth is being built off of other people's information, or they use other people's information to become wealthy, to in order for gain, for their own profit, but uses people's information to get housing loans. They use other people's information to get pay off their loans. They use other people's information to pay off their own loans and things of that nature. But how did you meet? So I'm looking at Gemini energy. How did you meet them? Like, someone may be trying to figure out, that could be a question that a Libra has. Or I feel like a Libra already knows a Gemini energy that you're tied to. I feel like a Libra could have introduced you to a Gemini energy, vice versa. But I keep getting well versed. So every time I say it, the reason for you getting introduced to a Gemini energy, period, that you could already work with them, and they're just introducing something to you. The reason for it is because they're well versed. I keep taxes. They're well versed in something going on with taxes or business tax and housing taxes and things. They're well versed in that. But I want to protect my stuff. So they're well versed. You're going to them and you're trying to tell them, I want to protect my things. I want to protect my identification. I want to protect my social. I want to protect my birth certificates and things of that nature. Like I said, that could be why a Leo is there, but no Gemini. So a Leo that you're doing that with, or earlier on in the reading, I did say that you were tied to a Leo that was protecting your assets and things of that nature. They know a Gemini energy that you're saying is well versed in taking out loans in other people's names. So the Gemini energy, the Leo knows a Gemini energy that is well versed in taking out loans in other people's names. That's why I said earlier on in the reading, they're well versed in that, and that's why their energy is there. If it's not anything like that, the business partner, if it's not anything, I'm looking at them and they are a business partner, but I'm looking at them, and if it's not anything like that necessarily, you just need the strength to deal. This could be something. What's interesting about this, it didn't know they were doing that. What's interesting about it is that you may not even know or have known that a Gemini energy did that in the past. And you, okay, I see what's going on here. You may not have known that a Gemini energy had that kind of dealing, or that's how they built their wealth, or you didn't know that they took out loans in other people's name to build their wealth, or to finance their business, to finance their house, or some type of condo or townhouse that they live in. They use other people's information to do that, but that may not have been something that you've known. Or that may not have been something that that could be something that you're finding out, or that's something that you just don't know about them, or you're going to find out something like that about them. That's why the Strength card energy is there, because they're a business partner. So this is a situation here. This is a situation here where you're saying to yourself, I want to file taxes with someone. I want to take out a loan or a housing loan, but I don't want to use my own shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to use my own stuff. So what's happening? Or you may be thinking that you receive back more from someone that you don't even know, and it's someone else's information that you're saying that you want to use in combination with yours, so you get more money. So you would get more money. That's just a thought you have for yourself, but you have a business partner that you don't know, or you're now going to find out that they did do that in the past. Something is strange. So when I said something is strange, that's a thought that you have about yourself, or it's either about you, or you're finding out about a Gemini. And that could be what a Leo is telling you about a Gemini, vice versa. Just depends on the energy that is coming through. But I didn't know my business partner did that kind of business. I didn't know that my business partner was involved in this, that, and the third. Business partner, they also could be a love partner. You know what I mean? They don't only have to be a business partner. They could be a love partner. But I feel heavy business with them. I feel like they're a friend. I feel like they're someone that you're interacting with that they know how to use other people's information. Like it just feels, I just giving me that heavy feeling of other people's information, not even only theirs. They could be that other person that you need their stuff as well, but not gonna give you that kind of boundary. Like they're not gonna break that boundary that they have. They may have a boundary between. They may have created a boundary between you and them with their information, and that could be why they're telling you, use someone else's. That could be why they're telling you, I'm going to give you an external Aquarian energies information so that you can do that kind of stuff with. You're not going to use my things in the way that you want to. And that could be a boundary that they created between you and them. Just depends on what's going on. what you're waiting on is the Three of Swords energy is there. Okay, so the Three of Swords with the Gemini energy. Why won't they? So the Three of Swords energy, like I just said, you're asking these questions, trying to figure out why they won't want. You're trying to figure out why. I give you their information. Why won't they give you? Why won't this energy, if it could also be a Leo, I feel like it's heavily the Gemini. Why won't the Gemini energy give you why won't the Gemini energy give you their information? Why won't the Gemini energy give you someone else's information? Whatever it is. But what they talked with Leo about also. So the Three of Swords, why aren't they giving me the ends on what they were talking about with the Leo? Like I said, a Leo could tax prepare. A Leo could be your tax preparer. A Leo could be your boss. A Leo could be your what's another situation? Leo could be your other business partner, and you want to know, they're having secretive conversations with a Gemini, your information. They're having secretive conversations with the Gemini energy about your information. It's about yours, and that's why the Three of Swords energy is there. Like I said earlier on in the reading, it was heavily giving me vibes of an external Aquarian, but you could fall under that. You could fall under that line as well as being an external Aquarian energy, that a Gemini and a Leo are using your information there. I didn't give them permission. So the Three of Swords energy, I didn't give them permission to disperse. I didn't give them file taxes. I didn't give them information to file my taxes. But that's how businesses run, or that could be how you allowed those two elements to hold your stuff. That could be how you allowed them to hold your things. But for some reason they either went into the system to get your information without your permission, or you gave it, or these are business partners or friends or whatever it is that these two elements are to you. You gave them. You may have You may have given them a copy or copies of your things, but you may not have been thinking that they would just go ahead and file without you. Or I keep getting or put down on a house. Something's also going on here with putting down on a house, or doing signing a lease for an apartment and things of that nature. That could be something that those without you. That could be something that those two elements are doing without you. But the reason why they're able to do it without you is because they have copies of your tax papers. They have copies of your socials and your birth certificates and things of that nature. That I also get that you didn't even give. They have it, but you didn't even give it to them. So two scenarios are happening here where you're either giving these people, openly giving these people, but I thought they were my friends. You're somebody that you're thinking is your friend, they're not your friend. You're openly giving them your information, but they're just two of them or however many of them that are here, shown up here like this. They're just going, this is you handing your information to a Gemini. Telling a Gemini energy, can you hold my paperwork for me? Can you hold these documents for me? But there's a feeling here where you're thinking that they're just holding it, like you're thinking that they're just holding your stuff for you, but they're actually going ahead and putting down a house. They're actually going ahead, like paying off mortgage, some type of mortgage. They're going ahead and they're paying the mortgage. They're going ahead and they're taking out the loan and things of that nature. But you're thinking you're thinking that they still have your information, or they still have something, or they still have or haven't. You're thinking that they have not done something yet, but they actually have. But was waiting for you. So when I said that somebody was waiting for you, were you waiting for someone to do that? But are you doing this? Are you going ahead with somebody's things like this? Are you going ahead with somebody's things like this and on your own? But they wanted to get back at. So I'm looking at them, and it's that you could have done that to them before, but they're in their mind, I want to get back at. You know what I mean? They're like, I want to get back at. So I don't know if that's something that you've done to them before, or something like that, somewhere around. It feels very financial. It feels whatever kind of business that you have going on with those two elements, or just this element. Whatever it is that's going on with them, with information and documents, they're just going ahead and doing something. But the spirit is implying that you did something really interesting with their things in the past before, or it may not even be only documents that you have that you did that to them. It could also be treatment. It could also be a form of treatment that you gave this person. That's why they're going ahead and doing something, with the Three of Swords energy being in the waiting position. But how to get stuff back, or how to get documents back, how to get tax paper back, how to get what do you call it? Sometimes reverse also. Something could be either, something is either irreversible that's happening the way it is. Something could either be reversible or irreversible. It just depends on what's going on with the Gemini, or something that you need to do with the Gemini energy, but it has something to do with an external Aquarian energies things, or an external Aquarian. I'll give you a perfect example here. If this is happening to an external Aquarian Gemini, I keep getting they're just going ahead and doing something. Like, they're just going ahead. Whatever. There's a lot of information. I'm sorry. There's a lot of information. Okay, let me just go through this example first. This is okay. You need Gemini help. Yes, you need a Gemini energy's help to I'll go with this first example first. You need the Gemini energy's help to get an external Aquarian energies information so that you can take out a loan. But every time I say that, I keep feeling they just went ahead and did. Like, I keep getting that all the time. So you're pulling them aside to have a conversation with them and say, wait for me. I have to get another document. Wait for me. I have to get another document. Wait for me. I have to travel to my house to get this, that, and the third. Wait for me. I have to go back to my office to get this. But they're already, they already have their stuff put together. They already have their things, but what they're doing, I'm trying to interpret this properly. They already have their things, but the reason why you're connecting with them is to get an external Aquarian energies information, but they don't want to wait for you. So Three of Swords, they don't want to wait for you. They're not trying to wait for you. So what they're doing is they're going and I get contact Libra. They're going to contact a Libra. They're going to contact the Libra, tell the Libra, I'm coming, or let's meet up so that we can get to an external Aquarian energies thing, so that we can file, so that we can put down, so that we can open this business, so we can do whatever it is that they need to do. But I feel this feeling of them trying to do that without you. But you're trying to have a conversation with them first. I keep getting don't want to wait. You want to have a conversation with them first. They don't want to wait. Or you're telling them that you have to do this, that, and you have to do this, that, and a third first. But for some reason they can't wait, or they just don't want to wait for you. So this depends on what's going on there. So it's interesting. I feel like this is like I feel like this is you. I keep looking at their business partner. I feel like this is something that you're doing with a business partner, and with someone else's things. There's two scenarios here. It's with someone else's, like an external Aquarian. It's with someone else's information that is needed, or you asked them to hold your things. You asked them to hold your things for you, and they're just going ahead and doing it without you, because they don't want to wait for you. But the reason for that is because they don't want to make something hot also. The reason for it is that you may not want to make something hot, but they may not care. So they're just going ahead and doing it without you. That you thinking that something is making something hotter. The time frame or the time period that you're sitting and waiting for that hot feeling, whatever you consider to be making something hot, or making something obvious, or making something really, something that's really out there, or overtly happening. But the time frame that you're spending thinking of getting caught, the time frame that you're spending sitting around thinking about getting caught, someone is already going ahead to file. Someone is already going ahead to make the decisions without you. And like, what are you waiting for? I don't have time. They're like, I don't have time to wait. There could be a deadline for something here, There could be a deadline to when something needs to be done. You know what I mean? There could be a deadline to when something needs to happen here. But I'm looking at the Three of Swords. Someone is going to make it use your information. Someone's going to make it seem like they did use your information. Oh, I see what's happening here. This is, oh my gosh, Jesus Christ. This is out of control. The Three of Swords, someone's going to make it seem like they used your information. Okay, I see what's going on. I'll just go with the house example first. Oh my God. I don't even know where to begin. This is a lot of information. This, okay, the Three of Swords, someone playing games. Someone is playing games here also. And they're going to, one of these elements here, Leo, Gemini, Libra is coming through a lot also. Someone is going to make it seem like if this is a house, I'll go with a house first. Someone's going to make it seem like you're openly, okay, you know this, I'll go with you just knowing that this is happening first. You're giving your information to swindling you. You're giving still the swindling. You're giving your information to someone that you don't realize that they're swindling you for some reason. So this is you giving your information to someone. We have a deal. You're giving your information to someone. You're telling them, you're discussing with them. We have a deal here, and I want I want partial ownership of something. I want to be on the lease. I want to, I keep getting playing, or someone is playing. Someone is playing that you're trying to do something like that with. This is you. I'll go with them as a friend, business partner, whatever is a Gemini energy is. You're giving them your documents to, you're giving them the documents for like a house, for example, but they not using them. There's also a situation here where you're giving somebody your information, but they're also not using them. But in order for you to benefit, in order for you to have a partial ownership of something, in order for you to, I don't know how it goes, in order for you to, I'll go with the example of, I don't know what other terms to use here, but you let me know. In order to have partial ownership, someone really doesn't want you to have that. So in order to have partial ownership of something, a car, I don't know, they need, or home, whatever is a business, they need your information. You're giving it to them, but don't really want you to be a part of something. They don't really want you to be a part. That's what I'm trying to get to. They don't really want you to be a part of something, but you're openly giving them your things, and you're thinking that they're going to file it together. You're thinking that they're going to file it together with their stuff, but they're not really doing it. So I'm looking at the Three of Swords energy. It made this something interesting that is happening here. Maybe something that you not even find out until March. It's a Three of Swords energy. So it may be something that is something like this could have been happening to you for a while. You know what I mean? Something could have been happening to you like this for a while, or something that is happening to you like this, you may not find out how it's happening until March. Very interesting. Wow. The present has the Four of Pentacles energy is right there in the present. I don't need to save. So Four of Pentacles, I don't need to save money. You may not need to save money for some reason, but Gemini did. So saving money, a Gemini energy did, or that you notice or you realize that a Gemini energy is able to save money. But I am too. So the Three of Swords with the Four of Pentacles, I am too. I am able to save money. I am able to save money here, or you're able to save money but don't necessarily need to. You're able to save money, but you don't. This is craziness. I am able to save. You're saying that you. Oh, Jesus Christ. You're saying that you're able to save money, but you're also Three of Swords. You're gonna have to start doing it. You're going to have to start doing it again. So you're able to save money, but you also have this thought process where you're saying that you don't need to save money as well. That's going to change. So the Four of Pentacles energy, that's going to change. That's going to change when you find out what the hell they're doing here. When you find out what the Gemini or Leo or Libra, when you find out what they're doing, you're going to have to save money. You're going to have to start saving again, or start saving for the first time. But why would they do this? So the Four of Pentacles in the present, why would a Gemini do what they're doing? But it happened to them before. So I don't know if that's why I said earlier on in the reading in the beginning, it happened to a Gemini before, or you could have done something like that interesting to a Gemini, but you may not. Three of Swords, you may not have seen it to be that way. But they may have taken it hard, and that could be why they may have taken it really hard, or something odd could have ended up happening with their money. You know what I mean? Something odd could end up happening with their money or their information. That's why I said getting back at. And if you did do something like that to a Gemini, and the getting back at kind of energy is coming from with the Four of Pentacles, you're like, I'm gonna have to save now. I'm gonna have to save money. I didn't know. This could be a situation here where that's why I said not realizing something until March, or not. It could even be last March that's been happening. However you want to look at the 3, that could have been 3 represents March. That could be something this could be something that you don't realize until March. It could be the 3 represent, if it does represent March, could be something that was happening since 2019 March that you didn't see. And that's why the 3 of Swords energy is there. But the Four of Pentacles energy in the present is that you may have had, you may have been having this mode of thought for a while. You may have been having this mode of thought for a while where you're saying that you do not have to save, but didn't know how someone was using information. That's what I'm trying to get to. Spirit is trying to help me. You didn't realize how someone was using your information. There's that. So you could be that energy of the external Aquarian, that a Gemini and a Libra, or just a Gemini energy is doing this too, or it could be happening to an external Aquarian energy, or it's just something I didn't realize I needed to save. It's just something that you're not realizing, that now you're not realizing that you're going to end up having to start saving again. Because it's something that a Gemini or a Leo, or a conversation that a Leo and a Gemini had, but who to hook up to listen to that conversation. So the Four of Pentacles in the present, who to hook up to listen to that conversation. You need to find someone soon enough to hook up to get a conversation that a Leo and a Gemini were having, or a Libra and a Gemini energy were having. The 3 of them could have been your money. 3 of them could have been having a discussion about your money. They're having a discussion about your money, or they're having discussions about where your information didn't go. They're having discussions about where they're having discussions about where your information didn't go. So you're thinking that you're putting your information into something, but you're giving it to someone, but they're not putting it in to where it's supposed to go. They're not combining the taxes that you thought that they were. They're not doing this, that, and the third, and you may not understand why they're doing that. You may not understand why. And it could be the reason for either somebody's shady, you know what I mean? Either somebody that you're dealing with here is shady, like they are shady, but you're not realizing that they are, or they're swindle. Swindle does represent shadiness in business, but you're not seeing the shadiness for some reason there. Okay. The future has what do you call it? The Hangman energy is in the future. The Hangman is pretty much self-explanatory. It's realizing this. It's realizing the shade. It's realizing the shadiness. Okay. The Instincts has Taurus energy there with the Hierophant. That's why that could also be why the Four of Pentacles, their information. The Four of Pentacles with the Taurus and the Instincts is their information. You know what I mean? It could be their information that you need, or it could be, like I said, needing to hook up someone to listen to a Gemini and a Leo's conversation. Needed to hook up someone to listen to a conversation between a Gemini and a Libra. What happened to my things? What did they really take my office? Did they really take my information to the office that I asked them to take it to? Are they just using it and telling me that they filed it with my things? Whatever it is that they did. Whatever it is. Some type of application. It could even be an application that you gave Geminis. It could also be some type of application that you gave a Gemini energy to take somewhere. So that could also be why, you need a Taurus. That could be why you're hooking up a Taurus to go follow them to see if they're actually going to see if the Gemini energy, or a Leo, whatever, a Libra, to see where a Gemini energy is going with your paperwork and things of that nature. So the hooking up the Taurus is for one of 3 or 4 different reasons that you could be eavesdrop, whatever, you're hooking up to go follow someone to make sure that they take your things to the office. Okay, I'll give you an example here. I'm just gonna rewind a little bit. You're giving tax paper. You're giving somebody your tax paper to take somewhere. You're giving somebody your documents that you have in a folder or a manila envelope to take to the office, to take to the post office, whatever it is. But you need for one scenario here, you need it, go follow. You need a Taurus to go follow those people, or you may want a Taurus to go follow those people to see that they're actually taking, to see that they're not their own office, to see that they're not taking it to their own office, to see that they're not taking it to, what's another situation, to see that they're not taking it to the police. I don't know. To see that they're not taking it to, what's another scenario, to see, to make sure that they're not taking it to another business partner that you don't deal with, whatever the example is, to see that they're not file alone, just to see, to make sure that they're not trying to file alone. You know what I mean? To make sure that they're not trying to file alone. You can file whenever. Who the hell said you had to wait until March and April to do that? You don't have to wait till then. People can file all like now if they wanted to, or at least get the information ready to do so. But you're giving somebody, you're thinking, whoever you're giving your stuff to, that you're thinking that you trust, or you had a conversation with them. This is a promise that we kept to each other, that we're going to benefit with each other's things in this way. They're not trying to do that for some reason. They're not trying to do that. You're asking a Taurus, can you go, business partner, can you go follow my business partner down the street to make sure that they're not going to file, make sure they don't go to the H&R block with my paperwork, make sure that they're actually taking it home. But it has a personal, like, tax preparer and things of that nature. So the Gemini energy has their own personal, like, tax preparer that lives in their home, or they may live with them, but you're not going to be able to see something. So Three of Swords, if the Gemini energy has that kind of situation, you're not going to be able to see something. Taurus is not going to be able to see something in the way that you want them to see something. It is or spy on someone, go follow somebody with your things. But why give? So the Three of Swords, why give them that stuff? Why give them that information, those documents in the manila envelopes? Why give them that? Why give them that? This could be a situation here, you may have even had inklings that someone was shady. You had inklings that not gonna go where you had inklings that someone was not going to go where you asked them to go. Did you? Or they could be going where but has a secretive deal. They could be going where you want them to go with your information to a specific person, but they have a secretive deal with that person, not going to see. They have a secretive deal with that person. You're not going to see that. Like, that's going to be impossible to see unless you disguise Taurus. Unless you disguise a Taurus element really well, you're not going to see that. Disguising them really well in the sense where literally follow the Gemini energy into somebody's private office and have a seat, or pretend to bump into someone is something that's going to be really difficult for you to do. Hire a private investigator to go see. Is it that serious? Hire a private investigator to go see, to make sure that someone is going to the right office. How are you going to seal? I almost said seal. Yes, seal a deal. How are you going to seal a deal? How are you going to see that someone? How are you going to see when you don't know that somebody's in a secretive deal with someone, that you're giving them their paperwork, the person that you're openly giving your paperwork and documents to, they have a secretive deal with someone that you know. You may know that person, or you don't know they have a secretive deal together. But something could be you may potentially miss out there. If you hook up someone to go spy, you hook up someone to go watch, something may work. You know what I mean? Something may end up working, but you have to be, you have to do it precisely, or you have to be very careful. But I also get a hidden camera also. So something's going on with a hidden camera. That could be why you need a Taurus. You know what I mean? That could be what you need to ask a Taurus. Hook up a Taurus for, and throw a secretive camera somewhere, the really tiny ones. Hook up a secretive camera somewhere. But I have the money for hooking up a secretive camera somewhere. You have the money for that. You have the money for it. But you may soon not have the money for it, or whatever it is, or you may have the money for it now. You may have the money for it now, and you may want, my nose is itchy. This is a lot of information. You may have the money for, that's why I said needing to save and not needing to save. You may have the money for it now, but it needs to be installed before somebody starts realizing something. It needs to be installed before somebody starts realizing something. I don't know if that's happening to you. I don't know. That could be something that is happening to you between Taurus and Gemini. What secretive deal? Some secretive deal with Taurus and Gemini also. So who you're trying to hook up may also be in a secretive deal on you. Three of Swords energy. Wow. Jeez. It's a lot of information. The accomplishment has the Six of Wands right next to the Gemini energy. So Six of Wands represents fire sign. You do have a Leo energy under here. The six, if you're dealing with a Leo, getting increments or parts of a conversation. So the Leo is that they favor you. I feel like a Leo favors you. I feel like they deal with. I feel like a Leo does have conversations with a Gemini energy about your information, but I don't feel like a Leo would necessarily deceive you in that way. I don't feel like a Leo necessarily would. That's why the six is a six. That's why the six is here in the with the accomplishment right next to the Gemini. But they deceive. The Gemini deceive, but I don't feel like a Leo would have done that to you. Whatever fire sign is Sag. It could also be Sag. It's fire energy. So Sag, Leo, Aries elements there. But side with them. You do side with them. That's why I said I don't feel like any of them would necessarily deceive you in the way in the way that a Gemini energy would be deceiving you in that way. You know what I mean? The fire sign energies saw something. The fire sign energies also saw something. They also saw something. You know, they saw something happen in the workplace. They saw something happening in the business deal. They saw where someone was going. They saw where someone was going also. They noticed, or they took notice of where someone was going. With a backpack, whatever. They took notice of where someone was going. You know what I mean? They took notice of that. You know, I don't know. This could be something that also happens to Taurus. This could be something that happens to you, but I also feel like this could also be something that is happening to a Taurus. This could be something that's happening to a Taurus all the time, or that's something that happens sometimes. That's something that happens to them sometimes. That happens to them sometimes. So what you're going through, they also went through with a Gemini or by themselves. Sag. What you're going through, they also go through or went through with a Sagittarian energy. You know what I mean? They also go through it or went through it with them. That's why Three of Swords energy is there. And that could be something could also, this feels like something that could be happening karmically. I don't know if this is something, information. It has something to do with information, not necessarily document information like, somebody's whereabouts and where somebody's traveling to, where they're going, and where offices. Stop doing that. When I ran through that example, is to stop doing that. Like this could be something that you keep doing, or this is something that you've been continuously doing for some reason. But it's either to spy on a Taurus, their friend. It's a spy on a Taurus friend, like to spy on a Taurus friend, or something, or it's something that you're doing with your own things. It's something that you're doing with your own, but that's why it's happening. Something that you're doing with your own things, something that's strange that's happening here is that the spirit just said that's why. So whatever I ran through earlier on in the reading, something that's strange that's happening with your information, something that's strange that's happening with a business deal or some type of deal, something that's strange that's happening with you feeling really suspect with somebody having your things, fearing that Taurus is going to retaliate. So the Taurus and the instincts, you're thinking that they're going to retaliate, that I see what's going on. That's why you need someone to go watch, and you need someone to go watch where Taurus is going also, to betray them. So when I said you betrayed them, So this is like you're trying to do a secretive, I don't know, it could be a Taurus information. It could be a Taurus's information that you're doing that, or something is interesting with you're trying to have a business, or you're trying to run your business, and you want someone to, but don't give it to the wrong person. You're trying to do business, but the spirit just said don't give your information or details to the wrong person. Like for some reason you're potentially ending up giving it to the wrong person. Or wrong or right person. They could protect Taurus. They could be the right person. They protect a Taurus. Spirit just said you could be giving it to the wrong. Okay, who you're giving your stuff to could be the right person, but they behind the scenes they protect a Taurus. Then there's a situation here where you could be giving it to the wrong person, also protect Taurus. You could be giving it to the wrong person, but they also protect a Taurus. That's why the Three of Swords energy is there, because you're not realizing I also betrayed. You're not realizing that you also betrayed someone in some way here, but people are retaliating. People are retaliating with your things, and that's why you're just thinking that somebody wants to do that because you have their stuff. You're thinking that someone wants to retaliate on you because okay. So oh my God, Jesus Christ. You're thinking that someone like okay, my God. You're thinking that someone wants to retaliate on you because you have because you have their things. You're thinking whoever you're giving information connected to Taurus. You're thinking that whoever you're giving your information to or is interconnected or connected to the Taurus, that you did something to or sold their information. You sold their information. That's another situation. Sold it, gave it away, whatever it is that you did. So whatever it is that you're trying to do with your own stuff, making you paranoid. It's making you paranoid. Because you're thinking that someone's going to hook up someone. You're thinking that someone's going to hook up someone to watch someone that you gave your stuff to. But that already happened. So when I said that already happened. Something there already happened. Wow. Your spiritual self has the sun, also sun in Leo, Leo success here, right? But I need to be, or I'm trying to be, whatever it is. The sun is right next to the Three of Swords energy. But I'm hurt. So Three of Swords right next to the sun, you're hurt. It could be spiritual pain that you're, Taurus, it's spiritual pain that you're experiencing because of a Taurus. Like spiritually, something's going on with you as well. You know what I mean? But mystically protect. So you could be trying to mystically protect a business. Mystically where your paperwork goes. Mystically try to protect where your paperwork goes. Or you don't know where your paperwork is going. Or you think your paperwork is going somewhere and it is or it is not going where it's supposed, the destination. It's not reaching, it's going in somebody else's hand first. You know what I mean? And then it's going to reach the destination. Then it's going to reach its destination, or or something's going on with it. It's not reaching that destination, and you don't know it's not reaching that destination, or it's reaching the destination. It's something is interesting that's happening. The destination that you know is going to, it's something else is happening there with it that you don't know. Wow, very interesting. Your mentality has the Six of Cups energy in the mentality with the Taurus. You're thinking that they apologize. You're thinking that you need to apologize to them. What's happening with your things could be because you did it to them. What's happening with your things could be the Taurus energy's fault that's happening, but it's only because the Spirit said because you did something like that to them as well, and Gemini. Whatever it is, or you don't know they know each other. Or found someone, or you don't know they found someone to watch something that you have going on here. You know what I mean? Or you need to apologize to them. You know, vice versa. Someone may be starting to feel bad. Someone may be starting to feel bad for something here. Someone may be starting to feel bad. They could be another business partner. You know what I mean? Or a friend, a housemate of some kind. Whatever it is that's happening here with business and affairs and hooking up people to do this, that, and the third, but wrong move. Hooking up people to do this, that, and the third, something along those lines is not good. You know, something along those lines is not good. It's not good for whatever reason. That's why the Six of Cups is in the mentality there. You're thinking that with an apology. You're thinking that they're going to return with an apology. Are you returning to them with an apology? Gemini with an apology, whatever it is, something's going on with an apology, you know, vice versa apologies, whatever it is happening, vice versa apologies, you know. What's changing is the what the hell is this? What is this? Temperance energy is here. Sign of Sag. I did say that you were dealing with Sagittarian energies there. Their relationship, something's going on with your relationship to that person is changing. You know? Something's going on with your relationship. Because of a Taurus. Your relationship with the Sag is changing because of a Taurus. It's changing because of a Taurus. You know? Something a Taurus did. Something a Taurus saw. Something that a Taurus saw. It's changing because something that a Taurus saw. It's changing because of someone that a Taurus knows that you're tied to. It's changing because of something that the Taurus knows that's been happening with your stuff for a while that you don't see. Whatever it is. That's why it's changing, because it's changing there, because the Taurus may have been having conversations with the Sag about that exact situation, or one of those millions of situations they've been talking about that they've seen happening, and they may not have been telling you anything. They may not have been telling you anything, you know. They may not have been telling you this the Taurus and the Sagittarian energy, what they saw Gemini doing, when they saw Gemini going, who they saw Gemini talking to on the phone, or just partnerships that you have with a Taurus and Sag, that's you're whatever it is you're doing with their things, or they gave you, but or they gave you, or you gave them, but it's not going, whatever it is that's happening is not going where you're thinking that it's going. It could even be a conversation that you're thinking that a conversation is going in the right direction. You think a conversation is going in the right direction with one of these elements, but it's they're playing on so well that you think it's going well, it's not really going well. Whatever it is, or it's a business deal you think is going well, it's not really going well. It's some of this shady behind the scenes that's happening with it. You know, something shady is going on there. The resolution has the Two of Cups going towards the what do you call this? Going towards the Hangman energy there. It's water. That's the only water. Well, except for the Six of Cups energy. The Two of Cups is a partnership here. It could be with the Taurus. You know what I mean? Going towards the Hangman energy in the future. You know what I mean? So Two of Cups is a resolution. Need a new business partner. You may need to find a new business partner. You know, someone's also private. Could also be a private person, private investigator, private whatever. Someone's going with private business that you could. Something that could be going on here with a private business that you have. It's tampered with. So a private business that you have, it's tampered with. You don't know what's being tampered with. Someone's private, but it's not really private. Or it's more. It's something that you think is private. It's more tampered with than you thought, or you thought that it was not that accessible. You may be thinking that something is also that something is not really that accessible to someone, but it really is. You may be thinking this. I'll give you a perfect example. This is like you're giving someone a birth certificate. Birth certificate is coming into my brain all of a sudden. You're giving someone your birth certificate, but you're asking them to keep it locked. You're asking it to keep it locked in something, but you're thinking that they're going with that promise that you gave with them, that you instilled in them to promise to not whatever it is, but that's not really happening. This is like asking someone to keep your stuff really private, but they're not really keeping it private. They're not. Or they play a really good game with you and make it seem like that they are, but they're not. And the reason for it could be because you paid someone to do that. So money talks. So you pay someone to do it, still not really listening to you. You're paying someone to do it, but they're not listening to you. Like they're not really listening to you. Someone may not care. You know, money talks, and money talks, but people don't care. But people really don't care. You know, money, you're thinking that you're paying someone to protect your things, but they're not really doing, because it doesn't matter. You know, someone doesn't care about that. Somebody doesn't care about that. Someone may just be caring about their own benefit there. You're like, I paid them to do this, that, and the third, but they're not really doing it. They're not really doing it. You know what I mean? I mean, that's harsh reality. They're not really doing it. You know? Okay. Let's see what the outcome is here, Aquarius. I think that this reading... I think it's at only 50-something minutes. I thought it was longer than that. Seven of Swords energy again. Let me do another outcome. 2, 3... And this reading was extremely long, and not really. It didn't go over an hour yet. Seven of Cups it's a lot of water sign energy that's showing up here. Water sign, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces elements as well. You know, so the seven. There's a lot of sevens. Well, at least these two sevens are here. So Seven of Cups with I keep feeling this feeling of investigate, like you need to investigate, or you need to find someone to investigate something for you, or the reason why something is happening the way it is here, it has something to do with a higher, also a higher, or a private investigator, or a friend you asked to investigate something, but it's not going well. So somebody you asked to investigate something, it's not, something isn't going well with that for some reason. You know, something isn't going well with asking someone to investigate something that you have going on here. Or it has something to do with you're making plans to investigate. You need options to investigate. You need another way to investigate something. That's why I said earlier on in the reading, you know, giving somebody your things. That's why I said earlier on in the reading, trying to find someone I get follow. That's why I get follow business partner, follow this, that, and the third, follow your friend, follow your love partner, whatever it is. Literally go follow them. But something may end up being really obvious with that, so you may need another option. Or it has something to do with trying to figure out a way to put a secretive camera somewhere. Or that could be something that someone did, that you know that they did, or that's something that you did. So you need to find another way, save something. You need to find another way to save something. Save your paperwork. Go find your paperwork. Where'd it go? Where's my business partner taking my stuff? They're not really taking it to where I told them to take it. Whatever it is. It's crazy. You know, it's interesting what's happening. You know, it's been happening since last March, or you're going to find out something in March. The 3 card is here, you know. Yeah, March here. The 4 is April. These 6s are June. And this could be something that's going to be happening throughout that time, or, you know, stretching into March, April, May, June. I don't have a 5 here. So this could be something that could be culminating in that's why I said relationship with these fire signs. Something that could be culminating in June, because you're finding out something, or what someone did, or something that you thought what business was going well. Some part of it isn't right, or some part of it isn't going right. If you think it is, I don't know. So it's a lot of information here. So you could pick out what's happening. Is taxes. It's taxes. It's your paperwork. It's your birth certificate. It's your social. It's your whatever it is. Whatever it is that, or some type of business, something that a business partner did with your stuff, with your information, or just where they're taking it, or a secretive conversation that they're having behind the scenes that you don't know is happening. And you need to find someone, or find a way to find out something about that conversation. But at the same time, the Spirit kept emphasizing that you're also not going to see something, or it's going to be impossible to see. I mean, it's not impossible, but some part of it here is interesting, where you may not be able to see something in the way that you want to see something. I don't know. About someone in the business deal, business partner, information, documents, whatever it is. Love could also be intertwined in there as well, in friendship. And something is going on there with that. You know? Alright, I think I ran through all that. I think I ran through the scenarios and information. Like I always forget to say, information doesn't only have to be document information. Information is what somebody's doing, you know, what somebody does, or information about someone. Could have been irritating someone there, you know. It could be information about someone. And somebody could have gotten tired. Somebody could be, you are Taurus and Gemini, whatever it is. Somebody could be getting tired of that, you know. And they retaliating, but you don't see, or you don't see, or don't know how they are retaliating. Are you retaliating? Whatever it is, it's interesting. All right, Aquarius. Let me know how it resonates. Be well. Take care. Bye.